Stop everyone. All right, outlook for today. Obviously, GU is melting right now off the back of that GBP news that we had come out about 15 minutes ago. So, look, GU is quite frankly off the cards for me today. However, I am hopefully going to be able to use GU as a bit of a catalyst for EU setup. So, obviously, with GU, we know we're at the bottom of a new leg right now. We are starting to work our way, obviously, down towards that leg. This is technically a medium inducement. Obviously, at this point, did have a little bit of bullish reaction out of it, breaking a high, and it is also as well a 15-minute two leg. So valid medium inducement. However, you can see we've just completely disregarded it. Even if we started to get a bit of a buy reaction down here, I wouldn't be interested in touching it anyway. Just given obviously I'm not going to go near that momentum there. So I'll leave GU alone for today. It may be able to build some structure up throughout and London session for potentially a later London say, maybe a little bit before New York crossover. So we'll see what it wants to do for me to be able to touch GU. Yeah, honestly, there's not really much I'd be able to do with it. If we got something like a two leg, I'd be happy to use something like that as a smart money point. Really treating this as retest of that if we can generate obviously some liquidity running across. But yeah, there's not a lot I'm open to doing with GU right now, other than hopefully this point can drive GU up a little bit as a catalyst for EU. So basically, what I'm looking for on EU, and I'll explain the catalyst in a moment. Um, Obviously bearish, same as G. We're at the bottom of a new bearish leg. We are reacting out of this demand area here. It is a valid demand. It's taken liquidity and it's a bit of a supply to demand area. So I'm more than happy to utilize this point for a little bit. However, as we can see, what this point has done so far, it hasn't given us overly strong bullish momentum. So although it's a valid demand, we're not following through very well from it. So we may not be ready to do that complex pullback yet. And this might be building as high time frame retest of that major break that we've had, obviously towards the back end of last week. So this point has pushed us up to induce this demand to supply area. Again, this area did take liquidity, very, very strong point to induce. Since then, we've started to work our way back down. Had a little bit of a pause, obviously, at that high, but since clearing out from that pause from the off the back of the news the other day, we have had that melt, which obviously come through at the start of Frankfurt yesterday. So the reason I'm not looking for this demand to hold is due to the liquidity that we've got built up inside this leg, or I should say the lack of liquidity built up inside that leg. It's very, very straight in terms of the range. There's not really a lot generated there. We've got a little bit of retest here of that breaker structure, but that's more so to help bearish price action rather than a bullish target. So not looking to do much in the way of buys. I don't expect this demand to be holding. So what I'm looking for, I don't expect this area, really this whole area here, to hold. It is retest. So of course, expecting that to act as retest should as a smart money trap. Bring in some Asia high sellers as we've swept Asia high now, had a break to the downside. Ideally, I would like to see this push up from here, take out that retest, take out Asia high sellers. I'm then happy to sell off the back of that, targeting this as retest of that break. So in that way, I can work with both sides of the market. If we are going to go bullish and if this point is going to hold, if we drive up here, I can get that medium inducement. I can sell it. It should need to at least come down and take out that retest. And by then I'll be break even, potentially even partially out of the trade, depending on obviously what TP, what RR looks like at that point in time. And obviously if we do come up here, induce that, if we are going to go bearish, obviously we can come out and take out that demand. Now, the other side of this, so obviously that works with GU inducing down below. If it can drive up, it should be able to help drive EU up a little bit. So we'll see what that wants to do. The other side of this, if EU is just going to sell, we have to remember we have taken this high here, which I do see as a medium inducement out of a point that I don't expect to hold. This break in itself has brought in a lot of buyers. It may be enough of a breaker structure to be able to confirm or start to confirm this point as a smart money trap. Therefore, bring in obviously all those buyers. If we come down to this demand, get some manipulation, get something else on top of that to be able to confirm this area as a smart money trap, I'm happy to sell from there. I don't like the fact that we've only taken Asia high and that we are mitigating this area, which I don't think will hold. I am open to it if it's a really, really clean setup. Not one that I'd be very open to taking pre-session. So if we can get there on open and get that set up, I'm going to be much more open to it. But my preferred option would be to drive price up, take out this high. We're going to get that sell from there. We are also more or less going to be mitigating this area, which is a demand to supply in its own right. So see what that wants to do. EU is definitely the one to watch. GU is completely off the cards. We'll leave it be. If it's just going to keep melting, it's going to make it difficult. Yeah, ideally, the best case for GU would be to drive up here over the next day, take out that high, bring in some more liquidity, come down, take out this low for tomorrow, and then we can look to buy from there. That'll set up a really, really nice bullish structure cycle. So yeah, we're just going to need GU to develop some price action. But if it keeps melting, it's not going to do us any good. Hopefully now that we're more or less mitigating a bit more of this area, we can start to get a little bit of a push up and help EU. So we'll see what that wants to do. But yeah, definitely watch EU for today and leave GU to build its structure.